Hi everyone, I am Slavik, aka HappyZerG, Ukrainian zerg player, grandmaster, and this is my video show called Slavik Weekly. This is the third episode. There were two episodes, but they were in Russian language. This one is in English language, as you can hear it, and this video is about ZVT. In Slavik Weekly there are three parts. First part is called Failed, where I show some really failed games where zerg fails hard and loses the game. Second part is called Awesome, where I show some really awesome moves by zerg player where he wins the game. And third one is called Improve. This is where the viewers of this show send me replays and I analyze it. So this video is about ZVT, and let's start from first part that is called Failed. I'm gonna analyze the game from DreamHack Valencia between E.G. Stefano and Millennium 4GG. I think this game is very famous. So, right there. This game is on Metropolis. I think it was quarterfinals of DreamHack Valencia, and in this game there was an epic comeback from 4GG after Stefano gained significant advantage. So what's going on right here? He sent in first overload, like really standard, nothing special, and he sent in his second overload to the natural. Why to the natural? Because in case of 2x or something or some aggressive play, this overload shows if there are some bunkers, or in case of command center first, it shows if there is scouting. So he goes standard 15 expand, 15 hedge, he makes 2 more drones, and then he goes 16 pull. At the moment he spotted Terran player and he flies even farther just to see what's going on, what are the buildings right there, and first of all he sees if there is command center. Alright, he sees command center. It means command center first. It is very greedy build, and Stefano goes for extractor just after the pull to get gas mining as soon as possible, because this game he's going for the push. So let's see how it will go. This is a very good spot for overload because it is high ground, and from high ground you can see any units going somewhere out of Terran space. We can see that there is absolutely no scout from Terran player, so all he sees like nothing, absolutely nothing. This is very greedy play, but this is what Terrans do on the ladder. Stefano goes double queen, he makes drones, and after you get 60 drones on your main, just change the rally point to your natural and send your drones there, because 17s, 18 drone are not that efficient than these hard-working guys. He goes for Roach Warren after 4th minute, so you see he has 16 drones on mineral patch on main. He makes injects and he is making 2 overlords because he is preparing for the push. He has a lot of gas, so it will be enough for about 8 or 10 roaches. 8, 9 I guess. We see that Terran player didn't scout yet, and that is very good for zerg player. You see that he pulls drones of gas because he's not all in, he is just pushing, and he'll make drones behind, and he doesn't need any more gas, he needs more minerals to make more drones. So first roaches pop up and he goes for attack. These roaches put Hellions on their way, but that's not big deal at all. If Terran player is not prepared, then he'll get some really huge problems. And you see that Stefano is making workers right now, so he's not just committing like fully to it, it's not all in. He comes and he sees that SCVs are going home, no defense, no wall, no bunkers, no anything. That means that the damage will be done. And, well, Terran player is gonna lose a lot. So you see that the first thing Stefano did was killing Tech Lab. Why? Because the counter to roaches is Marauder, and without Marauders, Terran player just doesn't have any like counter. So all he has is only Hellions with SCVs, but they are not good fighters against roaches. What about microing? Like, if you micro any unit against Hellions, you just need to have good spread, because Hellions have splash damage and they kill the lines, so your roaches shouldn't stay in line, and that is why Stefano is like spreading them so that they don't get damaged at all. At the moment he is making speed, and also he is making more drones, so the drone count is getting higher and higher, and he is going for SCV kills. Okay, he loses roaches, but what is situation right now? 37 drones to 10. You see that his income is twice as big as Terran's, so this is almost perfect spot for Zerg player. This is very good. But yeah, there was a small problem. He lost his queen. You shouldn't really lose your queens. So you shouldn't come with your queens off creep, because that can be very dangerous. But he's adding more queens because he saw that Terran player is going for banshees. He has double evolution chambers as the wall, so that Hellions can't go by to the main to kill SCVs. And right now, what is 4GG doing? He's making cloak. Actually, well, he was going to do some Hellion harassment with Cloak Banshee harassment, but his plans were ruined by Stefano's push. But 4GG, like other Koreans, is the patriot of his build order. He knows, I practiced this build order, I know exactly what I need to do, so I'm gonna do it no matter what. And he's really doing it. And Stefano, knowing that he is much ahead, he thought that, well, he wouldn't go for cloak. It's like senseless, because I saw everything on his base. And he's going even greedier. He's making double upgrades before going to layer, and he didn't add any spore crawlers. So he has like 3 queens, but like no spores, so he is not ready for cloak, and he is kinda ready for banshees. But you see that banshees caught 1 queen off position, and he started killing queens. Yeah, some link run by, of course, and 2 banshees start killing a lot of drones. So right now Stefano is adding spore crawlers, but he's already in not that good position because he lost something, and he's adding 13 more workers, 13, because he knows he's ahead, and when you are ahead, get more ahead. But right now cloak goes on. Of course he has spores, but you see that he has spores only in the mineral line. There is also a wall with roaches and no detection right here. So in case you are ahead, you could just spend 1 more drone, some money to get spore crawler right here, so that queens get detection like everywhere, so that they just defend against banshees. But Stefano played a bit greedy, and that's why he didn't do it, and that's why these banshees did so much damage. 4GG has like 21 SCVs against like almost 16 drones, and the only thing he could do is go all in at this point, just make a ton of Hellions, cloak Banshee, and use this possibility to kill and to get very good comeback. So you see that first of all, Hellions are killing not even drones, but queens. Oh, of course he's killing drones too, but the most important thing is queens, because Stefano doesn't have any anti-air. There are 2 banshees killing absolutely everything, and no answer to that at all, except for 2 spore crawlers, but 2 spore crawlers are not the best answer. And right now Hellions go to the main and they just kill everything. So there are like 3 banshees and only 1 queen, some spore crawlers, and these Hellions cannot be stopped, so that's pretty over, unfortunately. So we see that in this game Stefano was very much ahead, but he played a little bit too greedier, because you know that some Terrans, they play mind games, and this was also mind games, because that was at the first sight it's useless to go Cloak Banshee after everything is scouted, after such damage, but he decided to do that, and Stefano didn't double check. So all he could do is just to send this overload right here, nothing to prevent, because there are like absolutely 0 Marines. And he would know that, okay, he's making clock, I'm gonna make spores, but he played greedier than it's necessary, and this is the result. Alright, that was the first part. The second part, called Awesome. This is again the game from DreamHack Valencia, and this is again the game between Stefano and 4GG. This time the map is Ohana. So, Stefano in the bottom right corner, sending first overlord right there. This is like the perfect spot for that, because it sees if Terran is going command center, if he's going Rex command center or command center first, or in case zerg player doesn't see any command center, it means that the possibility of 2 Rex is possible, so you need to be prepared. And right now he's sending his second alert to the natural again, just to be sure there are no bunkers, no hidden SCVs, no anything. And he sent the drone to Xelnaga Tower just to see if there are any Rex or Marines coming. But then he saw that there is command center first, and okay, Stefano really likes to punish command center first. That's why he's making double guesses on 4th minute. So this time he went guestless, fast expansion, but he added 2 extractors pretty fast. He's adding 3rd queen to start his creep spread, because once again he's not committing to it, he's not all-in, he's just pushing. And at the moment of this push he's making drones, so that everything depends on the damage he's doing. But if he's doing enough damage, then he'll be in pretty good spot. So you see, he mined 100 gas for speed, and then he's mining gas only with 2 drones, because he really doesn't need that much gas. He needs more minerals for roaches, but well, 4 drones are good. So once more adding overloads, and he is making 5 roaches. 5 roaches is good amount in case Terran is greedy and has no bunker or no wall. You can just kill some SVs and get some advantage. Also speed is finished, but you see that only 5 roaches and then drones, and then he makes third hatchery. This attack was like distraction. Hey Charon, I'm attacking you, and Charon gets scared. He doesn't know if Zerg player is attacking constantly, and this can be good for Zerg player. And right now he spotted that there are some marauders with marines, and this is kind of blind counter, because you know, if both players are pushing, wins the player who stays at home, because he's not greedy, he also has units, and this is it. So 4GG attacks and he meets a ton of roaches, and he knows that his attack is not successful. Stefano is also making links so that he just surrounds this army with his links and kills everything. And right now Stefano gets pretty significant advantage, because all these marines could be third command center, and these marauders could be a factory or starport with reactor or some upgrade. So you know, Terran spent some resources, and this investment was a failure. So also, if you see some marauders early on, then it means no mech incoming, then Terran player is playing bio, that's for sure. So Stefano is making double upgrades, he knows that he has some forces, that's enough. Then he needs to saturate his third base, so he makes a ton of drones, he makes double upgrades, Paling Nest, Lair, and also 2 more gases. That's pretty important. He sees that there is no third base, his overload spread is pretty good, he started his creep spread, also he's killing rocks, that's very important too, so everything is great. And right now, just like no need really to scout what 4GG is doing, because everything is kinda obvious. You just make some bailings just in case of some attacks or drops, and after you get some minimum of your army, so that you know you'll be okay against any attack or any all-in, because Stefano didn't see any third base, third command center, so that could be all-in of 2 base, but he sees that it's not. There is some strange attack oriented for Zerg's greedy play, and that Zerg doesn't have any bailings, because if there were only roach links, then 4GG would be okay, but Stefano has also some bailings. What you need to do in such situation is just attack with links, surround, and then you come with roach bailings. You see that there was like resynchronization of medevacs and ground armies, so that is why 4GG lost almost all his army, and right now Stefano knows he is very much ahead, and that's why he is rushing for Hive. He started his second double upgrades, and right now he's going Hive because he knows that Terran player right now can't do any damage at all. So he is just saturating his third base and making fourth base, you see. Everything is good. He sees that there is no third base anywhere. He has 3 base against 2 base Terran. That's pretty good. His fourth base is mining. He's fully saturated, so everything is great, and right now you can start pumping units and also infestors. And Stefano was preparing for some small push because he knows he's ahead, that's why he can trade armies even more, and with superior economy that would be very profitable. See that before his attack he sent some links to scout, and he sees that the tank is unsieged, and that's why he rushes for attack. First of all he spread his army, and then he attacks, and with unsieged tanks this attack does a ton of damage. So Terran player didn't lose many SCVs, but he lost all his army supply. He lost his tanks, he lost his marines, and right now Hive is ready. 2 extractors in 4th base are ready, and 4th base is not working at all. Adrenaline for links is in production, Ultra's covering, and okay, there is some drop, but Stefano got some links on his way, so it will be okay. And now he's starting his 3rd upgrade, so he's pretty ahead in upgrades too, and that is very good. So the advantage gets bigger and bigger with each minute. So right now Stefano is in winning position, and what 4GG could do to make a comeback is to out multitask, to make a lot of drops, and that is why in at this stage you need to add some spines. So Stefano is adding spines almost everywhere because this is like the only chance for 4GG to come back. Because if he can't out multitask him, for example, like dropship here, and some attack with killing Cryptomus right there to try to catch Zerg off guard, then he wouldn't win the game. So right now he's making all the necessary upgrades, Cryptomus everywhere, and Ultras. He's preparing for the huge burst when his upgrades finish. He's adding some bailings, and we see that Terran is attacking. This attack is very strange too, because Terran doesn't have 200 supply. That's pretty strange. And well, Terran is behind. Why would he attack? But he thought that there is a possibility of some Broodlord's timings, or maybe he'll catch Stefano off guard when there are not so many Ultras if Stefano is greedy, but Stefano is ready for that, and this attack is a good chance for Stefano to finish this Terran. You see that 3rd upgrades are finishing. He's also making Spire, Barrel and Speed for Overlords. And what Stefano does, in comparison to other even top Zerg players, he spreads his army in like few parts. Like one part is here, second part here, and 3rd part is here. So he's doing huge flank from 3 different angles. That's very important because mostly in ZVT when army meet each other, like tanks are shooting, marines team and try to kite, they are hitting running and they are just like running away, so you never catch them. But if marines try to like go back, there are just a lot of links, and all these links kill these kiting marines. So this engagement was almost perfect because the units are not stacked, so splash damage of the tanks is not that efficient, and fun goes everywhere, links everywhere, so that 4GG cannot escape and he can't go home. So right now what he needs to do is just to finish the Terran with streaming reproduction of units. That's all. Of course it will be hard, it will take a few minutes, but it's over, because there are like 4 bases against 2 bases, no income, no army supply, it's just a matter of time. GG. Yeah, one moment. I didn't expect it to get so dark. So that was awesome. And last part is improve, where I analyze viewers replay and tell the mistakes, tell what you should improve. And as today it's all about ZVT, it's a ZVT replay. The map is Cloud Kingdom. So right now streams everywhere, replays everywhere. You can just take, for example, Stefano's build, try to copy that, and well, just to implement this build on ladder. But sometimes there are some failures and guys don't know what the hell, I'm copying Stefano's build but it's not working. And the problem is not about build, but the problem is about its execution. At the first sight, Zerg is doing everything good. He's sending Overlord here, second on his natural. He's making gasless expand. It's very popular right now, but let's look at future mistakes. So after there are 16 drones, you should change your rally point to the natural. So that is done, very good. And yeah, great. So you make 2 queens, then you make 2 more queens, so it goes like 4 queens, gasless expand. And he controls only his own Xilnaga tower. So you need to control his, like Terran's Xilnaga tower. This placement of Overlord is not perfect at all because, alright, you saw that there is command center and right now it needs to be right there so that it sees if there are bunkers, if there is wall, if he is going somewhere. That's very important. So he adds 3 gases, he adds roach warring, so I guess it will be some bust because usually guys just make 2 gases and that's pretty enough. You should spread creep with these 2 queens constantly. You need to spread creep like right here because in case of some banshees or dropships, queens right here will be very slow. So you need to spread creep right here and also the most important right here. So do that always. So he's making roaches, links and bailink nest, and right now there is 1 marine at this Xelnaga tower, and that is why the Zerg player goes all this way around. You can just try to kill this marine with 2 links, and if you get Xelnaga tower control, then it will be easier for you and it will be much closer for you. It won't take so much time to get to his base to get this attack. So we see that this guy is not committing to, he's making 20 bailings, he got some roaches with links, but he got 3rd base and he is making drones. Of course you need to make 4th gas, that's very important too. And right now he is attacking. And you see that bailings go first. This is the biggest mistake. Let me tell you how it works. Roaches are a brave, strong guy. They go ahead and they are like, hey Marines, I'm better than you, like shoot at me. And then everyone, like every Terran unit gets angry and starts shooting at roaches. There are 2 types of units, tank dealers and tank consumers or tankers. So they just like consume damage, they say, hey, shoot at me. And at this moment, bailings, these guys with only 30 hit points, they go and deal damage. So they kill bunkers, marines, and first of all SCVs, because he needs to do some economic damage. If you trade armies, it's not that good, but if you trade like your bailings with SCVs, so Terran will have to spend his time like remaking SCVs instead of making new army. So that is why this engagement was pretty bad. You see that 20 bailings, but they are dying and dying and dying and dying and dying. But by the way, this is diamond players, and you see that only 3 banes were successful. 3 banes. 3 banes of 20. So if these were roaches were braver and they were ahead, then it would be much better. And right now you see he is attacking command center, but he should be attacking, he should be focusing SCVs, because he won't be able to kill command center, he'll just repair it. So that's nonsense. Just kill as many SCVs as possible. And right now we see that he's adding 2 evolution chambers. I think that this placement for evolution chambers actually is not the best, because in case of some like base trade scenarios, or in case of a siege contamination like right there, then the first thing Terran will kill is these evolution chambers, but upgrades are very important. And we see that Zerg player, of course, he has 2 double evolution chambers, but Terran already got 1-1 and his armory is in production. So that attack was not as successful as it planned to be, because you see that he has 40 workers and the difference in income is not that high. Of course, Terran has maybe not the best saturation ever, so yeah, he's sending some SCVs right there. So what about Zerg vision? You see that this Marine was standing here for like 10 minutes, and right now Terran player sees, alright, no attacks, okay, let's relax, let's make some units, let's make some technologies, and he even is not making bunkers, he's not scared at all. But if he was in darkness, then he would be much more scared. That's the problem. So you need to spread creep, and what you see that there are 71 workers, 71 drones. That's very good count. That's even more than necessary for 3 bases. That's the number for 4 bases. So you need to get your 4th base and also 5th base as soon as possible. You shouldn't wait for Terran's permission. It's not like, hey Terran, I'm gonna make 4th base, okay? Okay. No, it's not like that. You should make just 4th base, 5th base. It's his problem to cancel your bases, but you should be greedy, especially when you have everything like fully saturated. So you got infestors, you got bailing speed, burrow, double upgrades. Well, no gas, but well, okay, shit happens. So what you're gonna do? There are 2 types of play. You can play very long on tier 2, so you just make a ton of links, bailings, infestors, but basically it's about mutalink bailing. You sit long on tier 2 and you just trade armies, trade armies, trade armies until he is dead. You harass, trade armies, harass, trade armies, then alright, he's dead because you got just like 5 bases and he sits on 3 bases, he mines out, GG. The second option is going for fast technologies, and this is about infestors. For example, we saw that Stefano last game, just after he got his infestation pit, his 3rd was not even saturated, but he went for hive, because he's rushing for technologies. You need, if you play infestors with double upgrades on the links, bailings, this is like good composition for transition, so that you make transition into Broodlords or Ultras as soon as possible. You see, like, no 4th, no 5th base. That's very bad. Yeah, you need to get it as soon as possible. You see that Terran is not attacking. Yeah, he's walking around, he is walking on this map, but he's not attacking, he's not committing. And at the moment you could have like 5 bases mining. All you need to do is have 3 bases fully saturated and gas on 4th and gas on 5th. That's just perfect. So spread your creep. In cases of such things, just send here the link so that it gets your vision and you get your creep spread better. And right now the biggest mistake is this Marine is standing here for like the whole game for 15 minutes, That's not acceptable. You need to control this Xel'Naga tower so that you know where is Terran player. Right now, you don't know where is Terran. You are guessing he's not here and you are committing to attack. But what if he met you with siege tanks? Yeah, right now you see that he's there. And you need to see Terran moving out as soon as possible, just to go to attack him, to flank while he is sieged, because when he is sieged you can kill him really easily, but when he's not sieged, yeah, but because when he is sieged, then you can't really make a ton of damage because he is killing all your links and bailings. And right now, Zerg player is committing, so he knows like, okay, I need to throw some infested Terrans to tank damage and then I attack him. But comparing, for example, to Stefano, yeah, Diamond player and Stefano, what makes Stefano much better? Except for obvious reasons. Zerg is attacking from one angle, that's all, but nothing really. He could just spread his army in this position for Terran is really bad. You can spread your army right here, here and here, and you attack from like 3 different angles, and Terran player will be eaten and the losses will be minimal. But right now you see that there is like a huge ball of Zerg and siege tanks. They don't have +1 yet. Well, it's Terran's mistake, but anyway they deal a ton of damage and they kill a ton of Zerglings. So you see that a ton of links are dying, poor infestors are dying. No, Terrans actually, infestors didn't die at all, but if better Terran player focused, then they would die. And you see like no, like 3 links and 3 bailings, but there were a ton of links and a ton of bailings. This could go much better. Also, 4th base not ready yet, 5th base not ready yet, but it should have already been ready. First upgrade you need to do is Adrenaline and double upgrades, then goes Greater Spire. Again, this Xel'Naga. So right now you don't know what Terran is doing. Actually, it was a good idea to. It could be a good idea to counterattack, but well, Zerg player didn't do that. Spread of Overlord is pretty good on the left side, but not that good on this side. But anyway, Zerg at least sees what's going on. But Zerg, like right now, doesn't know if Terran moves out, because he doesn't know if he can be greedy enough. So when your Greater Spire is half ready, then this is the high time you made Corruptors for Broodlord. This is the best. So, and at the moment you can attack, you can counter attack, or you can just harass Terran player. So links are perfect for that, but you need to know where Terran is, so that you attack in places where there is no Terran forces. But right now you see that you just lost a ton of units for nothing, almost nothing. Yeah, you killed some SVs, it's pretty good, but well, if you saw that Terran is right here, you could make attack there, and it would be much more successful. Right now you're making Broodlords, okay, that's great. You can make also counterattacks, and you see that Terran player is nearby, so this is the perfect time for you to attack him. But you shouldn't attack with both. You see that is the problem. You allowed him to go right here, and from this place he can siege tanks right there, kill your 4th and 5th base, so you don't get any income. It's bad to sit 3 base Zerg against 3 base Terran. And you see that you are committing to this attack, but this attack can be not as successful as it will seem, because there can be some siege tanks. Alright, right now the attack is good. But anyway, you lose a ton of bases and you need to kill all these forces with something. So the best way is to go counter-attack with links, but you get Broodlords and Infestors together. Alright, you're gonna lose your 4th base. Yeah, you killed a ton of Medivacs, that's pretty good. But, well, the problem is the income is not that high. You killed many workers, but workers with such amount of command centers and with such big minerals number, that's not that successful. Alright, you feel that you are ahead, then you need to attack. And again, you see that Terran, if he knows that he has no answer to Broodlords, he goes just base trades. Or for example, he's pumping Vikings and at the moment he's making just like counter-attack right there. And you won't be prepared for that. Because yeah, it's very easy for him to just leave the command center, fly here, he's building a ton of Medivacs and attacks again all bases. So you have a few Broodlords, some Infestors, but you won't have mining bases. What about this engagement? This is very good that you forced him to leave the command center and maybe you'll kill it, but your Broodlords, it's your precious in late game. But Broodlords itself are shit. So even if you have 20 Broodlords then and he has only Marines, it's not enough. He can just spread them and kill all the Broodlords. So this is why Broodlords go only with Infestors and with Corruptors. This is the only option for you. And you need to be careful because Broodlords have 9.5 range and also you have Fungos. So you shouldn't let him come with Marines really close and kill your broods. So you should just, when you see that he's teaming and attacking you, you just fungal. But right now you see your Fungos are really late and the position of Broodlords is not high ground. If it was here, then it would be perfect, so that the Marines cannot reach it. But it's like, it's very near to Terran's army, so that's not good. And you see that you lose all your Broodlords. Everyone dies. And also with Infestors you come too close and you lose all your Infestors too. And that's why Terran, that was behind, he can make such a comeback. Because right now you have huge problems. And he's going counter-attack because he feels confident. He knows that, alright, I am ahead, I killed all his Brutals and Infestors. And this army is really hard to stop, really. And we see like almost no units. 8 Broodlords, well, a lot of money, but yeah, because of lack of bases, this base is not working at all. Also, this base was not working at all, then it's very hard. And Charon just streams with units. Charon at the moment has units everywhere, his income is higher, is better, and Charon wins. So Zerg was ahead a lot of times this game, after almost all the engagements, but even if you have a big advantage, that doesn't mean anything if you fail the final engagement. The final, you gain all these small advantages, but this is all for the final engagement, and final engagement is gonna decide who wins. So even if you got a ton of like advantages, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, but right now there is like nothing to do here. So GG. I hope my analysis helped you and you're gonna rape Diamond Turn soon. GG. So guys, that was all for today. It was about ZVT. About how often this show goes, I'm not sure. Of course, it's called weekly, but I'm not sure if I can do it like every week, maybe once per 2 weeks. Everything depends on like how busy I am and also on your feedback. So please post positive or negative feedbacks. If you want your replay to be analyzed in the next show, then send your replay to the email you see on screen, like right there, yeah. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.